Hey, I'm Weekend Gabe, and you're checking out Weekend at Gabe's, and thanks for checking out this latest episode. While you're here, also follow us on these social medias at Weekend Gabe, at Weekend at Gabe's, and also at The Real Sam Crane. Thanks for checking us out.
Let's reset the blocks. The Real Sam Crane, Weekend Gabe, we're holding you down right here on Weekend at Gabe's, broadcasting live to you and yours. We have Vakil, who's going to be joining us at 8:35 to talk about his new EP, his first album, I think in almost a decade. It's been that long. He's been
2011. 2011. It's really been a decade.
His last album was during President Obama's first term. That's how long ago it was. And he's joining us tonight, so I'm really excited. But joining us now, the CEO of Burbs Entertainment, Hunter, is joining us right here on Weekend at Gabe's. Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're good, man. We talked a little bit at the beginning of how the blog era, it was a moment. We discussed this with many guests who covered it during the 2010s, and sort of perusing through your site, looking through the content. It feels like you guys are picking up the mantle and running with it, with music from artists that may not be super popular, but who are bubbling, who have something to say, with culture, content, editorial, fashion, design. You guys are really covering all the different angles of things that I saw almost 10 years ago. And it's exciting to see that you and your team are picking up the mantle and running with it. Talk about like what was the influence to get you into this point to start to move the way that you guys are moving?
I think my biggest thing is like I always wanted to really like work for myself, and like I was always into like kind of creative stuff, like even in high school, and just it got to the point where I was doing all this stuff but I didn't know like how to meet people. So I almost started Burbs as like a way to meet people, and like I wanted, I followed all the underground blogs and everything like that, but I just like I knew I had all this like creative ability and I didn't know how to like harness it, and Burbs kind of let me like it opened up kind of like a world for me to kind of place it all in. And like it's funny you mentioned like the blog era, because like I agree. I think there's a lot of stuff that can be changed about it. Like it's not going to be what everyone remembered, but I think when you take it and you mold it into a way that hasn't been molded before, and like there's just so much you can do with it. And that's what we spent a lot of time working on recently, is like we had a little drought where we're putting out as much, but just because we wanted to work on it and craft new content and mold it in a very like unique and original way.
Right.
So to wind the clocks back just a little bit before Gabe gets his next question in, what were the blogs that you were rocking with back in the day?
So I read I don't know how old this is, but I was like on Fake Shore Drive, and then there was like a couple smaller ones that I can't remember. Something, it was like Mindset something, I was reading it. But I don't know. Like I wasn't I got into it when I was in like high school, which is like 2013, 2014.
Word.
So
yeah, that was the tail end for sure. But Fake Shore Drive, shout out Andrew Barber,
Yeah, Fake Shore was the pinnacle blog for anything Chicago related. Two Dope Boys, Sam always talks about Ill Roots was one of them.
I still trap off Ill Roots to this day.
Well, I forget what the Roots website is. Oh my god, you're gonna kill me for this. I don't remember. There was so many that were out there. Dat Piff, like anything that came out mixtape with Dat Piff. Also, I missed the media fire links and all the.
Guaranteed viruses. Yeah, that was really fun.
You just never knew what you were gonna get.
Because the computer starts moving slow and you start thinking about what you downloaded.
Like, is this Lil Wayne mixtape really worth me killing my computer? Like, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's talk about like sort of the makeup of the website in its sense. You guys are broken down into music, fashion, sports. You guys have a shop. Talk about like how you guys approach mapping out. Like you said, you're a little bit of a drought, but like how do you guys map out like kind of what you guys are going to write about, what you guys are going to discuss, who you're going to interview? How do you guys sort of forecast what you want to approach so that you guys stay a little bit ahead of the game of what, before people jump on it, you guys kind of have a foot ahead of everyone else?
Yeah, no. So the biggest thing that like I will say that I've always approached it with is like being like genuine and authentic. So like my thing is I've never really ever told my writers or anyone on the team like what to write about, because like my writing is not my strength. Like I'm okay at it, but I'm not going to tell someone how to paint. Like obviously like when you come onto the team, like you understand like there's a shared vision, shared goal, but I mean, at the same time, that's really like loose and you can change that. But I think actually it's funny you mentioned that, because we're actually going to be kind of changing that platform. Like we're still going to cover like the fashion, the shoes, like TV and film, but we're really trying to like move it into kind of like a video format, but also kind of have those written pieces, like those very, very important written pieces, like profiles, like on people, like athletes, all that kind of stuff. So that's what we kind of mold, and we're trying to kind of build like kind of like a world around like us, in terms of like we want to capture like BTS stuff. We've been doing like production stuff recently. So it's just like trying to create like this whole world around us. And then our biggest thing is we just really want to create a community. We've been trying to do a better job of getting out, meeting people, and doing everything like that. So
talk a little bit about sort of the team of people helping you. How did they get involved? Because you guys are really grassroots. It's one of the things that I admire about you guys the most. So talk about the origins of, obviously it starts with you, but how did you rope people in?
Yeah, so funny enough, I was my freshman year in college and I was still making music, but I just decided it really wasn't my route. So basically what I did is I dropped out after my freshman year. It just wasn't for me. And then I was just kind of like, okay, or no, well, let me back up. Sorry, my bad. So I'm in college and I have a friend at Iowa. I went to school in Nashville. Okay.
Right.
They put us in a chat of a 2K league. So I end up playing with somebody and I just follow him just because it's like they're friends from their school, so whatever. Well, I saw he was a writer and I knew like that I was going to start something. So I pretty much just like, hey, do you want to write for me? I know like hip hop's not mainly your thing. Like he liked hip hop, but he was more of a basketball guy. His name is Jack Martin. He's still with us and he actually runs the publication side now, which is awesome. But yeah, him, and then we end up writing. I created the website, and then he knew one of my friends knew somebody that I brought on, and then everybody inside is like, it's like an indoor hire or an in hire, like whatever. Like we knew everybody just through certain ties or connections. But yeah, we got probably about like 15 plus contributors, which is really cool. So
yeah. Do you guys have like pitch meetings where, I know you said like you don't really tell what the writers or what the contributors are gonna kick in, but do you guys roundtable what's on deck?
Yeah, so for the production side, I'll handle most of like the typically like trying to bring in business, like doing like EPKs or like Spotify, right? Like bios and like promotional videos, photos, live performances, all that kind of stuff. And then Jack Martin and Evan Linden, who does a ton of work for us. He's like social media editing, all that kind of stuff. They work together to kind of like brainstorm with the writers, and they'll like send out like a Google link, and they'll put in like each writer will put in like 2 to 4 pitches, right? And that's every couple of weeks, I think, and they'll just kind of review them and then kind of like stockpile content for stuff we want to do, what can come out faster than what, and like what is better than what, just because we're trying to get into more like tailoring our content to be really, really solid every single piece we put out.
And the new wave, as you mentioned already, is sort of moving. Obviously, you're still going to have some publications, but you're moving to more of a video format. I've seen you hopping in front of the camera to do reviews. So the question that I have, because I've also seen you hopping behind the camera lately to work with Black Sum. I think that was the project that you guys were working on. Two names come to mind, sort of Anthony Fantano, who does the music reviews on YouTube, and Cole Bennett. Which would you prefer for your life?
Which would I prefer? Easily the Cole Bennett route. I don't want to be in my house like making videos all day. Like that's, to me, like I do this now because I kind of have to. My goal is to be able to just like travel wherever and do whatever. Like I don't care about money. I just want to have the freedom to do what I want. So like that's basically my thing. So I would much rather, and I like meeting people. My whole thing is like connecting with people like that have like similar mindsets and stuff. I think that's so cool. So definitely Cole Bennett.
I hear you.
So I imagine with the big thing that you have, everyone is kind of tuned in to different parts of the country and are searching and finding new talent. But how does Burbs tell an artist they're just not ready yet?
I think it's just to be honest, I think it's more just like you can always say something positive no matter what, right? Like, so anything, like, regardless if something is like not up to par, you can always say something positive about it. Like, so say something positive and then tell them like what could be worked on and all that stuff, and just being upfront with them, like letting them know, but not like lying to them or just like being rude, because there's no point in spreading negativity.
And
I think that's our approach as well. Like, we try to give some positive critique, but also suggest some things that they can improve upon. We try to be nice about it.
Yeah, for sure. I love the genuine energy that you guys have around. I think that's probably the parallel that we like to draw over here on this show. But talking about the journey, because you started this whole thing in 2018, right? Is that right? Yeah. So what? Over the course of now, it's been 3 years. So what's the biggest thing you've learned from dragging this project along the way?
Man, that none of it matters, like, until you do something with it. Like, I tell myself like all the time, like, you're nobody until you're somebody, because you can get complacent. Like, you can be like, oh, I'm doing good, and then like kind of get complacent. Like, I fell in that, and it's not even like I've done all this work, but it's like when you get in a groove and you're like, oh, I'm doing good, like, you got to push harder. Also, that, like, who cares? Like, and like my thing is like, I don't know, my whole thing is like, I just want to live the life I want to live, so I just like don't care and like always do. And like my thing is like, you can always, I don't know, everyone started from zero, so you can always get to wherever you want if you just work hard enough. But don't lie to yourself. Like, don't say you're working hard and you actually work hard, because that's like so detrimental.
No, absolutely.
Do you feel like there's a responsibility now that, you know, your platform has this professionalism to, and the approach that you guys offer in the videos, in the social media, everything you guys offer, there's a professionalism to it. Do you feel like there's a responsibility to the content you guys are putting out to make sure that we are giving our readers and our viewers the best that we have right now, and so that, you know, they keep coming back?
Yeah, I think like we have to, and that's something that I've always said is like, okay, like, we can put something out and people, like, a couple people will look at it, but like, what is that? That doesn't do anything. Like, you're wasting energy regardless putting out content if it's good or bad. So why would you just not make it good? And then we can all reach the goal of what we want to reach way faster. So it's just be efficient. Don't waste time. Like, that was another thing I learned is like, do not waste time. Just do it. Like, I wasn't shooting videos more than a year ago. Like, I didn't know. So I don't know. Right. You can learn so fast.
A lot can change in just 1 year of hard work, right?
Yeah. Very much.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because I want to talk a little bit about that and sort of the artist management side of what you do. Talk a little bit about that project with Black Sum. I actually got put onto that artist through you guys. I was checking out your New Music Friday playlist. Incredible artist. Talk about what you guys were working on at the pier there a couple weeks back.
Yeah, so it's Black Sam, by the way. So he does vowels. Yeah, so the vowels are A's, or the V's are A's. My bad. I don't know why I said vowels, but yeah. So I've been co-managing them with one of my people I work on Burbs with, Howie Butler, and basically what we found is like, just like, he does really well. Like, his fans like live performances a lot, so he releases 2 tracks a month, and we basically said, let's try and like shoot a live performance, see how it does, and then maybe we can turn it into a regular thing. So that's pretty much what we did. I really like enjoyed working on it, but I actually got into management not through Ben, who is Black Sam. I got in through Jared Howard, who, like, he is someone that I work with all the time. He's a great guy. He runs Stray Dogs Music Group. And he has an artist that I do day-to-day management for, and that's how I started. And that's just emails. His name's Tino Season. He's a really talented kid, and he's like going to go far and everything. But yeah, so I mean, that's we shot one of those. But our plan to shoot more and just make more content, because that's what he needs. He needs the videos.
Yeah, absolutely. And talk about what your philosophy is with sort of artist management, because there's plenty of people saying that they're managing artists and not doing anything. And there's plenty of people who are, could be doing more, I guess. So what are you guys offering that's unique in that room?
So I think the way that we looked at it is we basically told them like, hey, there's two of us. We both have different skill sets, and like we can help you everything. Like, I can help him out with everything creative, like graphic design, photo, video. At like obviously when you like do management, you have a contract and everything, and there's percentages. But like based on that compared to video, it's like to get all this work done would be way more expensive. So I can provide that for free or the percentage or whatever. And then like I guess our approach is too is like we're gonna suggest stuff we think is good and like could help us grow. If he doesn't want to do it, he doesn't have to do it. We're not gonna, but like obviously like the advice benefits all of us. So it wouldn't do anything. You know, there's no reason for me to do anything that would even risk anything. It could only help us. So pretty much that's our approach, to just let him create, suggest some things, try some things out. And it has to be a very equal relationship. You can't like, if there's something like that you don't like, you can say it. It's up to them because it's their career, or something they don't like that you're doing. I think it's just being open and honest with each other.
Word.
We see that with especially music, like the field is huge with aspiring artists competing with established artists. What is the challenge of sort of bringing in a new artist and you guys are grooming them to get to that next level? Well, what are some of those early challenges that you guys have had to endure?
I think the thing is like, because that would be my first time like actually managing an artist like Black Sam, and he's never had management before. So like when we talked to him, we basically told him, we were like, hey, we think we can do this based off just our past work and like what we know we can do like in the future and all that stuff. And like he like needed help. Like he was really good at marketing his music, but he needed visual. So I think it was just like we knew like that we complemented like the strengths and weaknesses so well that it was like it almost had to happen. You know what I'm saying? And like grooming, it would like basically, I don't know. We try to like maybe curate some beats here and there just to see if he might sound good on it. But I mean, like I said, he has his own producers and stuff like that.
Right. Well, what is the next step forward? Because I know you said like you're looking to try to get out and explore. Obviously, the environment that the country is in, sort of put a lot of those hurdles up. But what do you foresee you and the team in the year looking like, assuming that we resume to some sense of normalcy?
Just a lot more video content, a lot more like in-person stuff, a lot of like more BTS stuff. We've been working on vlogs and everything like that. So just kind of creating a world and like trying to build like this, build this thing together and meet people and just I don't know, like I don't want to say like change people's lives. I think that's like not that extent, but like just like, I don't know, like people like us, we like them, and like just create that little relationship, that little community, because community is super cool.
It feels like you guys have a network of different, contributors who are themselves networking, and you guys keep branching out almost like this tree, these different specialties in different fields. So it almost feels like what a podcast network would look like, if they had their own individual shows, but instead they have their own columns and their own piece of the site themselves. So that kind of feels like what is currently happening, this sort of outreach and branching off.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. It's just like, that's our biggest thing, is like we want to, everything is relationships, like regardless, like business, personal, it doesn't matter. Like everything is relationships. So if you can keep good relationships with people that would do the same for you as you would do for them, those are the people you should be focusing your relationships on. It's not worth it to waste time on people that are not going to come through for you. So, and those relationships are going to take you the farthest because they're going to fight for you. I know I throw out my friends all the time when opportunities come up, and I know they do the same for me. So,
hell yeah. I want to talk a little bit about the nitty gritty of what you guys got going on as far as infrastructure, because I don't know if this is still a thing, but you guys were hosting in-person interviews. I see you got the mic in front of you right now. You obviously got the camera and the film equipment. Talk us about sort of building that infrastructure, because that's like most of the battle, right? For doing what you're trying to do.
So we just shot another in-person interview. We're going to do, the reason we weren't doing them is because we were recreating a lot of stuff. Because basically it was like a bunch of stuff shifted and we were like, okay, instead of trying to like change while we go, let's just stop. So that's why we haven't been putting out a lot of in-person interviews. We got it figured out and we're going to be doing a lot more and just like some new type of content too, like with the interviews. I think it's the big thing with the infrastructure is just making sure that like whenever we do an interview show, it's like the best thing we can do because like everybody does interviews, literally every single person. So no random person is going to come click on me opposed to No Jumper or like Lyrical Lemonade just because I don't know. There's no reason to, right? So we have to be the best at what we do because there's always that one person that gets through and then stays and then tells their friend and then tells their friend. And then, so that's the biggest thing. It's just trying to not impress, but try to create the best product that we can to impress people.
As far as getting equipment, is it sort of hard to figure out what is Hunter's and what is the company's?
Well, pretty much everything's mine, so I would say it's probably just mine. Maybe we could. Maybe somebody else has a couple things, but nah, it's. I mean, I guess that's how I look at it, though. Like my stuff is the company stuff, and like I let people use it and stuff like that. So it's because like they help me out, so why can't I help them out? I know it's like not the cheapest stuff, so.
And as far as a team for the interview, are you rolling with camera guy, interviewer? That's it, or who's involved there?
So I will have my friend typically do like some camera work for me. Like I'll just set him up. We'll get him set up, and then like he'll come and just press record, check him every 25 minutes, and everything like that. And then that's pretty much it. I mean, I typically will just build the set myself. It's at my friends up north. Shout out like Tinley, Kendall, and Joe. But yeah, no, they just let me use their spot and I just build the set whenever I go over. It is a pain. So I am excited to get a space very soon, maybe next year, which would be nice.
Hell yeah.
What as we begin to wrap up a little bit, Hunter, what is the biggest reward so far? 3 years into this endeavor, what has been the biggest reward for you, either career wise or personally?
The biggest reward, is knowing that I'm making something of it, not because like I'm gonna be like, not because of money or like anything like that. I just know like I know I'm making it. It motivates me to go more because there's so much I want to do for like friends and family and all that stuff. It just is very like, it feels very good that I know that I'm making progress in order to be able to like help a lot of people that I want to help. So that's the biggest reward, to be honest. And seeing my team grow and flourish and get opportunities just even outside of Burbs. Like they've gotten opportunities strictly from their Burbs work, and that's all I've always told them. Like, you don't got to stay here. You can stay with us. You can leave, whatever. I just hope it presents like a path for you in life where you can figure out what you want to do.
Word. I got two last questions here before we wrap up. And my first is, I seen you getting your putt-putt on. So I wanted to know, what's your sport, man? Are you a basketball guy or are you a golf guy?
I'm a big football fan. I love basketball. I'm a big Bulls fan the last couple of days.
Hey, shout out the trade deadline,
because I love Lonzo, but I love Lonzo, but no, our living room is a circus, bro. We got like a mini putt, like a what is the slot machine and like this 1970s baseball game on the wall. It's a 22-year-old men's apartment. That's what it is.
Classic. And then my last question here. Me and Gabe go back and forth on this topic quite a bit, but you guys are Burbs Ent. And we get asked this question a lot, are you from the city? Are you from the Burbs? What does it even matter? Where do you stand on this argument? Do you claim Chicago or are you claiming Burbs till you die?
I say Chicago when like people from not Illinois ask me because they're not going to know where I'm from. But I will say, like, anything outside that, you should say you're from the suburbs, or like if you're from Chicago, because like it's like, I don't know, it's like one of those random states where it's like it has that one big city and then nothing else. So you might as well let people know around the area. But if you're in like Chicago and stuff, you might as well say from the burbs. Like, what's the point of saying from the city? Like, people are gonna sniff that out. Like it's not hard. So I don't know.
Quick story. When I was in Puerto Rico last month, I ran across a family who had Chicago Blackhawks gear on, and so I'm like, "Oh, you from the city?" And they're like, "Yeah, like we're right outside Winnetka."
Oh my, yeah, that's funny. It's so The Chicago suburbs are so weird, and yeah, I don't know.
It's all good. I want to ask another. What is your big whale view that you're still looking for? Is there someone out there that you're like, I really want to get them?
Okay, so I love Lucky and I love Brent Faiyaz.
Yo,
they're like my favorite artists. I really want to interview them. Kanye and Drake too. I know those are like ridiculous, but I think Kanye's a genius, and I think Drake is also a genius. So I would love to sit down with those, but Lucky and Brent Faiyaz as well would be incredible.
yo, I'm gonna positively create right now. You're gonna have an interview with Lucky before the end of the year, my friend.
I'm really hoping so. I have an idea for him that I want to see if he'll let me shoot. So,
hell yeah.
Does Kanye drop on Friday? Yes or no?
No.
No, not in a million years. Right?
I told everyone last week it wasn't dropping, and they said yes, it is. He ain't dropping it. I'm tired of it.
All right, sounds good. Well, maybe on Sunday. We'll see how it goes.
Maybe.
Hunter, tell people where they can find you out on these internets and in these streets. Let them know what they should be going to.
Yeah, so just shout out Burbs. It's at BURBSENT at Burbs Ent on everything. Shout out my team. Thank you guys so much. I couldn't do it without y'all. My personal is Burbs Hunter, so it's just BURBSHUNTER on all platforms. That's where you guys can find me. So,
all right, sounds good. We appreciate your time and joining us. Good luck moving forward. You have a fantastic thing going with you, and we look forward to seeing more great content populate. And we'd love to have you back in the near future.
Keep those new Music Friday playlists coming. I need those in my life.
Okay, I got you. Thank you guys so much.
Sounds good. The CEO of Burbs Ent, Hunter, joining us tonight on Weekend at Gabe's. I love his spirit, man. I like what they're doing. It feels like 10 years ago, man, when the independent music thing was really jumping off.
Yeah, we had the conversation with Scheme Navarro of Loop Theory, and I thought it was really interesting. If you're watching on YouTube, you can go check out that conversation with Scheme. But I thought it was really interesting, the parallels sort of drawn between, how do you find people to help? And it's the same answer for both guys. And both guys are doing mountain moving work here in Chicago. And it's just be genuine, be yourself, be honest, forge good relationships, and keep those relationships going. So that's for everybody out there. What is it, Gabe? Share, support, and show love.
Exactly. The 3 S's. That's all you need in life.
Same damn thing.
To quote the great Little Kim, it's what you need in life.
Hey, I'm Weekend Gabe. Thanks for checking out this latest episode of Weekend at Gabe's. Click on any of the links swirling around my head, and also hit the subscribe button while you're here. Thanks for checking out us here on YouTube.